Okay, I'm in Adobe Acrobat Pro, and we're looking at a graphic design that's already been pre-set up, either using Adobe InDesign or Adobe Illustrator. What we'll need to do to add the form fields to map to WebJaguar's system to create the PDF form builder is open your tools in Adobe Acrobat, and we're going to click on Prepare Form. If you do not see this button, you just click on More Tools here, and then that'll open up a section where all the tools are located, and you can click Prepare Form here. This should show up on your right column. So we're going to go ahead and do that. When I click Prepare Form, it asks us to begin, select a file, scan a document, or start from scratch. So currently we have our file open. I'm going to click Start, and this will now set up the form fields along the top of our graphic here. All we really need to do is select a text field. When you click Text Field, it'll give you the ability to drag an area on your design, such as this, and you'll notice text2 is the text field name. So this is the mapping name that we're going to need to input here. So right here I'm going to type Ham Classic Price. And so one thing to note is these field names are case sensitive. If we're going to use a lowercase or a capital, then we need to make sure we copy that exactly as is. If we also use spacing, which I don't suggest doing, just alleviate any spacing issues, I like to just put everything in line like this with no spaces. You'll notice over to the right we have our fields organized under page 1. If our PDF has multiple pages, then those pages would show up here where we can toggle between the pages. Let's go ahead and add another field. So we're going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to call this Turkey Classic Price. So over to the right, you can see how the names are appearing on this side. One other feature is if we right-click on this field, we can click Properties. You can also double-click. It'll open up a text field properties pop-up like this. So again, you're going to see the name that we've given. Under Appearance, it's going to give us some editing control. We can select what size font to choose. And one way to do that to make sure it looks similar is you can click on the font that you already have in your graphic, or if you were the one that prepared the file, you'll know already. But here over to the right in my text field, I have size 52. It also shows me the color, so you can copy that color code by visiting other color. You can get the red, green, blue combination here. And by doing that, you can keep everything uniform. So these fields, when they result in the form data, we can go ahead and type 52, the text color. You can type in those fields here. I already have it saved, so I hit OK. So now it's going to show orange text, font size 52, and then you can also choose a font that is very similar to the font you see in your file, or if you have that already on your computer, you select the exact same font. In this case, I'm going to select, let's say, Commerce Condensed Bold. I know that's a good font to choose that'll look similar to what we have here. So you want to make sure to give that property to each one of these. One way to do that is instead of creating a separate field each time like this, you're going to have to provide those properties to every single field. What we can do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to take this one and copy it and paste it. So now if I was to double click on it, it already assumes the characteristics I've already provided on the current field. So here all I need to do, double click, go to the general, and I just need to change the name. I hit close, and over to the right you'll see that the name has been given a new tag name here. So this is the best way to do it. You can just copy and paste. Do that again. Change this to Honey Baked Price. And then we can do that to all these other fields here. This graphic here, if we want to include an image to replace this with, then we definitely would want to remove what's already there. And then in place of it, we can just call this sandwich image. And again, I used a text field property. It does not need to be an image field. So for this, I'm just using text field, and that would work fine. All we're really doing here is creating a field area, calling it a specific unique name. Another thing to mention is these names cannot be duplicated. If they are, then the field won't work, or the PDF form builder will not work. So give every text property a different name. It's good to keep a record. I like to keep a notepad file such as this, you can copy and paste the names exactly into your notepad file. And then that way when it's ready to create your form, you have everything already in here. Let me show you an example of a couple of other forms. So this is a finished form that's already been set up. If I hit prepare form, you'll see on the right all the names I've given it. These are all unique. Keep in mind there is a character limit that we have in WebJaguar. So if you get too long with your name, you're going to have to truncate your form name. There shouldn't be, you can even call this form 1, form 2, form 3. It doesn't have to have the same. It's just a way for me to recognize what I am assigning these to. Here's another PDF where we've created the sandwich image to show up here and all the menu options here. And then finally, if we want to take out all the graphics, I've already done that on this field, and I've left these form elements right where the menu items pricing should go. So in order to do that, you would add those all in first so you know exactly where they show up next to the graphic. And then you can go into your graphic and click on these elements and just start hitting delete. Get rid of all the graphics. And this is only used, again, if you already have pre-printed graphic materials or an offset job that's already been printed, and you're going to run these through like a digital copy for variable data or variable image printing, where you're just printing the pricing only on top of a pre-printed marketing piece. Once you're done with setting up your PDF, make sure to save it, and then you're going to go into the WebJaguar backend, the admin, and we're going to follow the steps on how to create a PDF form builder.